Hey, welcome to the fourth and final video of our CPCU 555 video series. Today we are breaking down a practice exam for the CPCU 555. This is presented by AssociatePI. I'm Jake. We are an independent organization, not affiliated with the institutes or the CPCU. I've passed my 555 exam and I'm going to help you pass yours. So as I mentioned, this is the fourth video, the final video of our CPCU 555 video series. If you want to see the other videos, go over to AssociatePI.com/videos. So today in this practice exam, we're going to go over three different types of questions that you might see on the CPCU 555 exam. The first one is concept question. This will be on part A of the exam. These are all definition-based questions. Pretty simple, just based on some type of concept where you have to define the concept or provide some information about the concept. You'll often see these formatted as a question format that says, which of the following is true? So I have to select which of the multiple choice answer options is true in regards to a concept. For the second question, we're going to go over a type of question that is formatted as saying, this is an example of what? So this will either be seen on part A or part B of your exam. This will give you either a concept or a scenario, and it will ask you, this is an example of what? So you have to analyze the question and determine what is being exemplified. And the third and final question that we're going to go over is from part B of your exam. This is a scenario-based question. These are the hardest type of questions, definitely the most tricky. It's going to put you in the shoes of a insurance professional, kind of like an agent or a producer. You have to select the best coverage option or best recommendation given the scenario. So let's get into it. Let's start with question number one. And for each of these questions, I'm not going to fully read the answer options, so feel free to pause the video, answer the question on your own, then come back and we'll go over how to approach and solve this type of question. So for question number one, this is saying which of the following is true in regards to the DP3 form. So let's go on to the answer option. And here's the answer. So we're just saying the DP3 policy does not include any liability coverage. So this is an example of a question they might see in part A of your exam. Simple, straightforward concept question, just asking you about the DP3 form. So here's an explanation if you want a little bit more information about the DP3 and why this is the correct answer. And question number two, this is one, as we mentioned, is formatted in the way that says this is an example of what? So as you can see, this question says ABC insurance firm offers a discount to any insured homeowner that installs a burglar alarm. This is an example of what social objective? So like I said, this is kind of a case, kind of a part A, part B question. Might be on either part of your exam, but you can see it's kind of a real life scenario, real life example. So let's look at the answer here. The answer here is C, provide risk control incentive. And here's the explanation. Essentially, there are these 6 social objectives. One of them is encourage risk control. So you have to read this case question, this scenario question, and determine that installing a burglar alarm is an example of risk control. So not only do you have to know what are the social objectives, but you also have to know what is risk control and able to answer this question correctly. So that's a tough question. It could be on part A or part B of your exam. All right, let's move on to the next one. As I mentioned, this is the hardest type of question. This is going to be on part B of your exam. These are case questions, scenario questions that put you in the shoes of an insurance professional. You have to analyze the case. Given this real life scenario, you have to provide the best recommendation. So this question says, Macy's son, Brett, owns 2 dirt bikes and an ATV. These vehicles are currently not insured. Macy would like to insure these vehicles under her personal auto policy. What should you recommend to Macy? So notice it's asking what you recommend. You are the insurance professional. You should know all of the coverages, endorsements, personal insurance policies, auto policies. You have to know it all so that you can provide the best recommendation to this given customer. So let's move on to the correct answer. The answer here is A, endorse her auto policy with the miscellaneous type vehicle endorsement. So we have to know here that 1, the personal auto policy does not cover dirt bikes and ATVs. You also have to know that the miscellaneous type vehicle endorsement, that attaches to the auto policy. So you have to know that 1, she has an auto policy, so you have to know what endorsement she can use with her auto policy. That's the miscellaneous type vehicle endorsement. And you have to know that this endorsement does in fact cover dirt bikes and ATVs. So it fits this case. You also have to know that dirt bikes and ATVs are not covered under any other type of specialty endorsement, not any other type of endorsement. Miscellaneous vehicles endorsement is the correct one. And you have to know that this endorsement makes more sense than a specialty policy because this can just attach to her auto policy to provide all the coverage that she needs. So it is the best recommendation given this case. So you can see how this is a very tough type of question. You're going to see a lot like this where it's asking a recommendation about some type of policy, some type of endorsement. There's a ton of information to know here. There's over 80 endorsements that you need to know for this exam. There's, I think we said 11 or 12 different personal insurance type products that you have to know. So you have to memorize all the coverages, all those minor details so that you can solve a case question like this, being able to break it down, seeing that, okay, her auto policy does not cover this. What endorsement does she need, or what policy does she need for this coverage? So very tricky questions. Great example of one that you might see on part B of your exam. And that's it. That wraps up the fourth and final video of the CPCU 555 video series. If you have not already done so, I highly recommend you go over to AssociatePI.com/practice exam. Download more practice questions just like this, formatted just like the exam. Download our free study guide for the 555, and most importantly, download our endorsements and coverage guide, where we tell you exactly what endorsements and coverages you need to know for this exam. That's the most important part of the exam. I highly recommend you download that and take notes on every single endorsement and coverage that we tell you to, because you are going to see it on your exam. So go over to AssociatePI.com/practice exam to download yours for free today. And if you want to read more about the 555 exam, including the most difficult topics, the questions that you're going to see, the most important endorsements, and the format of the exam, go over to AssociatePI.com/CPCU 555. And that wraps up our CPCU 555 video series. Again, I'm Jake. This is presented by Associate PI. If you want to see the other 3 videos of this video series, go over to AssociatePI.com/videos. And that's it. I wish you the best of luck on the CPCU 555 exam. I have no doubt that you're going to pass. If you have any questions, I passed this exam. You can email us at contact@AssociatePI.com. Good luck on the exam.